of it. So I asked myself, what joke could I write that everyone in Canada can relate to that has nothing to do with Tim Hortons? Alright, so the thing about Tim Hortons is it's the one business that we've got in Canada where, regardless of how much they screw us over, we're still going to come back to them, because that's how devoted we are to this company. No other company gets away with, I can't believe they did it again! They screwed up my ice cap! I asked for chocolate milk in this thing! This is clearly a pack of cigarettes! What is going on back there? Excuse me, are you the manager? Yeah. This is an outrage. I want you to know that from now on, me, my family, my friends, are gonna go to the Tim Hortons down the street, alright? That is the magnitude of Canadian outrage. We'll just go to a different one, alright? We don't want this particular Tim Hortons to be viable anymore, but we still like Tim Hortons in general. Overall, it's very nice. So don't even bother with the Tim Hortons where the donuts are on like the back of the wall, because I feel like it's in their contract to defend the good donuts from you, to pretend they can't understand what you're saying. Like you get the, yeah, hi, I'm doing all right. Can I get 2 double chocolate donuts? Yeah, 2. I'm sorry, I thought this was universal sign for 2. I thought we were all on the same page. Are you confused, double chocolate? Alright, I was prepared for this, so I went online and I got a picture of what I'm looking for. This is a donut. This is double chocolate. If I could describe it to you using percentages, it is 90% chocolate, 10% space. That's basically what makes up donut. Anything yet? No? Alright, well this is a... I've made a composite sketch of your donut dispenser. I gotta laugh. I am now not the worst comic of the night. That's my goal, honestly. Why comedy? Well, the thing about doing comedy professionally is that with all artistic pursuits, it's something that you can approach in however way you want. Like, if I wanted to practice law, I pretty much got to practice law the way it says in the book. If I want to do a doctor, I certainly can't be creative being a doctor, because I could probably get somebody killed, right? But with comedy, when you know comedy, like when you understand it and you're watching it and you're getting it, you're not just getting it, but you're really understanding how it's working, you're like, I can do that too. And it's not easy, but you can. That's the thing. There is no barrier for doing comedy. You can end up working with anybody. And the people you meet in this industry, it sticks with you. So there's millions of reasons to do it. Absolutely. Who inspired me growing up, for stand-up, it was Mitch Hedberg. Like I was saying earlier, he was a guy that I got how he was doing his jokes just as much as I was getting the jokes. In fact, I was almost laughing because I was happy with how the joke turned out. I was like, oh, that's the direction he went in that. I thought he was going to do this, but instead he did that, and he did it in such a way that was so charming and so shy and so bashful that it's inspirational to a lot of introverts like us, like me, we don't feel like, and then on the other side you have comedians that are like Andrew Dice Clay, and they're aggressive, they get in your face, some of them aren't very good, so we always thought, oh, that's who we have to be as a comedian, but seeing Mitch Hedberg on stage do it changed their perception of who can be doing comedy for a lot of us. Aside from that, what really inspires me these days isn't just any one person, but I'm always a fan of group collective objectives and people who work together. Like, I do podcasts a lot, and the podcast that first got me into it was this podcast called Game Scoop, and that's actually done by video game journalists. And you would think, video game journalists, that's not comedy at all, but they got along, they had a great rapport, and you got a sense that they enjoyed working together, and when people work together on things, you produce a much
better result than if everyone's conflicting with one another. I also grew up on newgrounds.com, which was a Slash website. I did some cartoons for it. They weren't very good, but it's fun to go there. And when you're watching this community of people all over the internet, they were forming cliques and little circles, and you can see the results that these different resources work together to produce. And it was very interesting to see that this internet, this faceless void of nothing, can bring people together, because on the internet you can find whoever you want to find. So yeah, collective stuff I was actually more inspired by than any one person. Well, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But yes, am I allowed to say that I smoke weed on this? I don't know who you're showing. If I show this to my parents, I'm screwed. So I'm going to need you to edit me a version where I don't say that. I'm an upright citizen. Use that for the other video. Now, I support the use of weed because it changes your perception of things and it allows you to look differently at something. And believe me, the ratio of epiphanies I've had while high versus epiphanies I've had while sober is insurmountable, okay? And you know, if you're the kind of person that does drugs, then that's your life. And comedy is always about what your life is. So there's no reason to not do it if you're a comedian. There's no reason to do it if you're a comedian. You don't become a comedian and then say, okay, because I'm this, I should now do this, and this. Because you're a comedian, you say, I'm a comedian, how do I reflect what I'm already doing? So it's just a coincidence that a lot of them do drugs. Absolute coincidence.
Now.
I think it's absolutely great. I'm so happy that it's happened because I feel like now we have a much more level playing ground where, like I was mentioning earlier, when you look at stand-up comedy, you saw certain comedy types, and then when you saw Mitch Hedberg, I saw him online. I would not have discovered him if not for the internet. A lot of, and then you see him, and then you see all these other kind of like the Woody Allens and these guys, and you realize that all these people exist. With comedy, you gotta find who your audience is, and if you don't, you're gonna be really frustrated because you're gonna be doing material that means something to you, but people aren't gonna appreciate it. And it's not because it's not funny; it's just not funny to them. So with YouTube and with Facebook, I don't like Facebook that much. I just use it for promotion and messaging people. But with YouTube, with Facebook, with all these social media sites, it's giving you more precedent to figure out what direction you want to go. The problem that I have with Canadian comedy is that we don't have a lot of places to end up. Usually, once you become pro comedian, I'm not a pro. Once you become pro comedian, you're pretty much on your way to the States. 9 times out of 10, you're on your way to the States or even Europe or wherever it goes. So by that, we have less demand over here in Canada. So what's happening is there is this almost like a bottlenecking of the talent. It's like if you go to amusement parks and there's only one gate and everyone's got to go through this gate and it's taking forever. I mean, you'll get through. You can stay in line long enough, you'll get through for sure. But some people go, I don't even want to go through this gate. It's letting all these other people in. I like that these people are coming in, but I don't want to go in the same way they are. So with the internet, I feel it's giving you an opportunity to find a way in. If you go to the left and you see a gate that no one's watching, you're like, did anybody think to jump over this gate? Well, why not? No rules say don't jump over the gate. I'm going to jump over the gate. And then you jump over the gate and you realize you made it all on your own.
Now, Dane Cook became very popular because of but he became very popular because of MySpace, right? And
he found an audience.
Yeah, and there are a lot of up-and-coming prominent YouTube comics, SXC Phil being one of them. Have you ever thought about becoming sort of a YouTube comic, a YouTube type icon?
No, that hasn't occurred to me. I wouldn't mind it if it happened. I know what I want to do, and I'm going to work towards that. And if a byproduct of that occurs, absolutely, I'm going to see where that goes. Because mean, worst case scenario is now these people are paying attention to me. I can then bring them in to what I want them to know me for. Bottom line, comedy and drama. If you're going to talk about one, you have to talk about the other in that way. Bottom line, comedy must be funny, drama must be compelling. The way I look at all forms of entertainment is that with drama, you're as the viewer, you're saying, I want this to stop. And you know why you're saying that? Because drama invests you in the characters, and it puts them through such horrible challenges that you want them to be okay. You want the drama to stop, but you're so compelled by it that you continue to watch. With comedy, on the other hand, you're not saying I want you to stop. With comedy, you say I want you to keep going. You are so enthralled, you are so amused, and you are so enjoying what's happening. You want it to keep going and going and going, and that's how you know you love a TV show and you love shows, because it's just the momentum is building and you're loving it. Your goal as comedy is to make people laugh so hard they want you to stop. That they are actually peeing themselves and they cannot take another minute. That's how funny you should aim to be. And what's cool with comedy and drama is that we're getting to a point now where it's not so black and white. A lot of dramas now have this balance between I want you to stop, I want you to stop, but then there's levity in there. Like Weeds is a great example of a dramedy. It's dramatic, but it's also comedic as well. So you're I want you to stop, I want you to stop, I'll keep going, I want you to keep going. And it's weird how it's getting those reactions out of you. But bottom line, that's what entertainment is. I want you to stop, I want you to keep going.
The Office is something like that. There's no real punchline. It's more a comedy and observation, isn't it? Yeah.
The Office is interesting. What I liked about The Office is I felt that it was an exploration on people versus characters. You look at Jim. He's basically a normal person. He's always the guy who can tell you exactly what's wrong with what's going on. Sometimes he gets involved, sometimes he doesn't. But to me, Jim was always the really only true person on the show. Whereas everyone else, even characters like Pam, they're all characters because they have dimensions to them. And then Jim would be the character that tackles their dimensions. The way he deals with Michael Scott, he deals with certain parts of it. Michael Scott is known for being immature and but also being very loving. So Jim can deal with those because he's a person and he can understand what's happening. When you look at Pam in the first 3 seasons, she's more a character than a person because she's just known to be timid. And thank you so much. She's known to be very timid and very passive, and she doesn't really speak for herself very much. But the way Jim interacted with her, he instigated those changes in Pam. He made her more confident. He made her feel better about herself. And so Pam's character was changed. So what a lot of people notice about The Office is it's gotten to, they'll say it's jumped the shark. It's kind of gotten boring. The only reason why that's happened is because Jim is no longer the anchor of the show.
Now, there's a saying that you have to deliver the truth with an ounce of comedy, or the people will kill you. Relating to that,
I don't know about kill you.
but relating to that, would you ever tackle political comedy?
I wouldn't object to it, but the thing about political comedy is that you feel this desire to constantly have the latest news and agenda as a part of your act. If you look at the Colbert Report and the Jon Stewart, they have to do it every day because things are always changing. The way I approach comedy is that because you're reflecting life, whatever relevance you're worried about is irrelevant. So I don't care if it's in the news in a week, I don't care if it was in the news 6 months ago, I don't care if it was in the news 6 years ago, because it is a thing that has happened and that we accept as a part of our society and as a part of culture and a part of history. It's fair game. It's because what's happening right now is that we are getting all this much quicker. Facebook, news, CNN.com, all these papers that you get for free that all suck. You're getting all. No, I'm kidding. They're good. You're getting all these things so quickly. We forget to take a moment and accept things for their presence. That's why, I talk about Star Wars in my act, because Star Wars came out at a time when it was Star Wars or nothing. Like there was, so it had the opportunity to blend itself into society much more so than today. I mean, Lord of the Rings came out, what, I think 10 years ago? I mean, what a great trilogy. It's the Star Wars of our time, and yet the Lord of the Rings movie doesn't quite resonate quite the way Star Wars does, because Lord of the Rings was mixed more in the shuffle of its time. I'm really worried that we're going to lose sight of things that come and then they just go, but they don't ever go, they always stay, and there's no reason to never talk about it. So by that, I don't believe in political comedy.